All right, here we go, guys. We're moving right along on our bracelet tutorial here. And we ran into some problems in our last one, and we troubleshooted through them. And I left that in to hopefully get you guys understanding that sometimes we run into issues along the way in this program. And it's just lucky for us that we are using Solidworks, where everything is so easily adjustable and editable, allowing us to just dig back into any move we've made along the way and flip and change around our parameters to solve whatever issues we might be having. So be grateful for that, and we'll move forward. So we've got these two little cuts that we took out of our band here, and our goal now, as we talked about, is to create a circular pattern of these two cuts that's going to go all the way around the band 360. So let's do that now. I'm going to go up here to circular pattern. I'm going to choose an axis first thing. I've got axis 2 to use. There we go. Change this to something I think will work, like maybe 16. Make sure equal spacing is picked, and we're going to add our features to pattern. Now we've got 2 features to pattern now. This is because, in a perfect world we would only have 1, but with the workaround that we developed for in the last tutorial, we've got 2 now, so that's fine. We'll just enter both of them in there. Come on. There we go. And we're generating a lot of math for SolidWorks at this point. These circular patterns and so on, they generate just an unfathomable amount of mathematics that our computer is having to crunch. So every single one of these features that I pattern causes my computer to buzz and whir as the fan turns on and off, processing all of that mathematics. Anyway, that looks good, so I'll just hit the green checkbox up here. There you go. All right. So it's looking more and more like a bracelet. But I have to admit, it's not really what I was hoping it would look like. I mean, if I go back and if I open up my original drawing, which is here, it's still hidden inside of there, and I look at that, excuse me, what I was really hoping to do was get kind of like a chain link sort of a look. And what I have instead looks a little bit more like a hemp bracelet or something like that, and that's not what I'm looking for. So I want to mess around with this a little bit mess around with this circular pattern a little bit. Let's see if I can get it looking a little bit closer to my sketch. Your design teachers are always going to be asking you, your sketch looks like this. Why doesn't your model look like that? So it's always good to match your hand sketches with the models you make, and it can be difficult sometimes. This is apparently one of those scenarios. So let's get back in here. I'm going to go to my circular pattern, and I'm just going to edit the feature. And it kind of looks like what I did wrong was I added too many instances of this cut. So I'll just drop that down a little bit. I want to have this flat spot here a little bit more apparent. So if I just got 12, 11, there we go. That's good. That's got a nice big long flat spot, then the divot, then another flat. I think that's going to work best. So I'll go ahead and hit the green checkbox and confirm that is what I like. There we go. Spin back to 3D. And now I'm ready to take this sketch here and take a cut out of the side of my model. So I'm going to go to the side view. There we go. And actually, if I look at this in 3D again, you know what this thing looks like? It looks like that slot tool is going to work perfectly for us here. So let me go. I'm going to go side view. I'm going to zoom in right here. Okay, not that much. There we go. And then I'm going to go to my sketch. Oh, I have to pick a plane to sketch on. Let's see, what is it going to be? Right plane. Open a sketch. Grab my slot tool. Start on the origin. Pull out my center line. Click. Drag up. Aha. Perfect, SolidWorks. No wonder you made that slot tool. It was just for me for this situation. Very good. Hit escape to drop the tool, and I'll exit out of that sketch. Very good. Okay, next move for us to make is we're going to apply a cut extrude to fire off into the side of this bracelet, and then we'll do another circular pattern to loop it all the way around. So, extruded cut, fires off. Looking all good. SolidWorks, thank you for playing. And there we go. Okay. So that's looking really good. Now I want to get rid of my sketch now because it's getting in the way of me working. So hide that. And also I'm done with this line work as well, so I can get rid of some of that stuff. What was it? Sketch number 3. Hide. There we go. Stay out of my way. All right, there it is. Now I want to go in here and I want to create a circular pattern. I'm going to create a circular pattern of the last cut extrude number 10. There it is. And problem. What is the problem now? Oh, well, first of all, I didn't choose an axis. That'll be number 2. And there we go. So another fun example of a problem that we're running into. Okay, so we've got this preview here. That anything in yellow is a preview. So it's showing us this wackadoo preview over here. And I have to figure out why. What is the problem? Looking over here in my property manager, I should be able to figure it out. I think it's this. Look at that. 16 instances of this cut extrude. But if you remember, we had dropped it down from 16 instances of this cut down to 10 to get more like our sketch. Remember that? So now we need to change this to 10 to match the number of instances we had before, and that was it. See, there you go. So that's a good example. So there were so many instances of this cut extrude going around that it would have just cut our model to pieces. And so SolidWorks just it just wouldn't play along. You know what? Just for fun, let's do this. Let's do 16. We'll enter it back in. Go back to that weird thing, and let's just see what it does. There you go. See, it just cuts everything apart and leaves us with this weird chunk of material. It's even got this little sliver out of the bottom. Who knows what that's about? I mean, that is just ugly, and I mean, the whole thing's gone. So Control Z to undo. There we go. And we'll start from scratch. There we go. Circular pattern. Choose an axis. Number 2 is the one we want. 16 instances is wrong. We want 10. Pattern to cut. Sorry, pattern to feature to pattern is that. There we go. Boom. There we go. All right. So there it is. All right, we've done it. Almost. Let's see. Now when I turn the display from shaded with edges to shaded, I see that there is this really hard, sharp edge here on my model. Look at that sharp edge right there. Now see, I want to consider ergonomics the whole way through here, so I'm going to want to add some fillets here to sort of round that out and make it work, okay? So in our next tutorial, I'm going to add those fillets. We're going to try to do a circular pattern of the fillets too and see if it runs. And so stay tuned in. But keep your eyes peeled for issues and stuff like that. Don't be afraid to dive over here to the property manager and mess around with some of the parameters the program fills in for you. And hopefully you'll be moving along at a quicker pace than me. All right, guys, there we go.